What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome to my breakdown and analysis of the new Ninja banner. And we do have Ninja Zelgius that we did see in the silhouette, so it was pretty easy to tell that it is going to be Zelgius, and he's a Lance armor unit this time around. And I've absolutely loved what they've done with his armor, integrating the big neon colors with the theme of the banner. So he's going to be a really solid Lance armor with his preferred weapon. And as you can see, we do have the stats here, and he's extremely slow. He has given up all of his speed for the bulk and the attack. So here he's going to be using his assault troop to attack this Lance flyer. And he does come with Scarlet Spear as his 11 might dual phase brave weapon that is going to be having minus and special cooldown. And at start of combat, if his HP is at or above 25%, then he can get plus X attack in the combat and inflict minus X attack debuff on the foe in the combat. And this X is going to be dependent on 25% of foe's visible attack stat. So it is going to be taking 25% of foe's attack stat at the start of combat and then subtracting it by 2. So at the very least, he's going to be able to get minus 6 attack debuff on the opponent and get plus 6 attack himself, which is really good. And at max, this can go up to 16. So it is going to be requiring the enemy to have like 72 visible attacks so that he can get plus 16 attack in combat and shred the opponent's attack by 16, which is really helpful for getting the extra bulk. And then he can also get damage reduction on foe's first attack by 30%, and he can heal up 7 HP after the combat, which is pretty good for the self synergy for having with the weapon that has got the HP threshold. So this is a really good weapon because it does provide him with the extra bulk and also extra attack. And extra attack is always really good on brave weapons. He also has his exclusive special in Lightless Luna. So this is essentially an upgraded version of Black Luna, which is going to be cutting the defense or resistance of the foe by 80%. And then it has got the thing that we have seen before on Armored Beacon or Armored Flow, where it is going to be giving him 40% damage reduction on foe's specials. So this is going to be once per combat, and this is going to be non-pierceable damage reduction just like those armor skills. So I really like what they've done combining Black Luna and these Armored Flow and Armored Beacon skills, and this is going to be helping him against the melee opponents as well with its damage reduction, unlike Armored Flow or Armored Beacon. So this is a pretty good special, and I really wish that Winter Black Knight had something like this. And he does come with Distant Defense Res Solo, which is a really weird skill to have on an armor, because whenever you're going to be triggering any kind of save skill, you're going to be near your ally, so the solo skill is not going to be working. So he will definitely need a bit of an overhaul if you're going to be running him as a far savior or as a near savior. And he also comes to Special Fighter 4, which is good for the healing and also for the special charges and the guard effect. And he's the second unit after Summer Edelgard to have Assault Troop 3, which is going to be helping him get the extra movement with the charge status, but he doesn't really have player phase of Summer Edelgard or Legendary Edelgard, so yeah, you're just going to be replacing this with a save skill most of the time because you want to get the damage reduction from his exclusive special, and he doesn't really have Gale Force as like his special. And even if he did, he's not going to be having Raging Storm of Edelgard, so he's just going to be functioning as a save tank, but you'll need to fodder off skills to him, which is a bit annoying for sure. I wish he came with a better skill set, and I wish Assault Troop is going to be available on like a 4-star focus at some point. And he does have base 47 attack, which is really good with a brave weapon like this, which is dual phase. And then he also has an upgraded version of Black Luna, which is going to be helping him tank. So overall, I do think that Zelgius is a really solid armor unit for near saving and even for far saving. Even though there are going to be threats like Legendary Hinoka and such and Wind Tribe Claude, still we do have Veil now who can provide you with the Drive Scowl, which is certainly going to be helping him against the Wind Tribe Claude matchup. The next unit that we have on the Ninja banner is Ninja Heather. So I believe she was also on the silhouette, but I don't think I've seen anyone guess that correctly. So yeah, she is a infantry green dagger unit, and she's finally in the game, which is really good. So she's going to be functioning as an amazing infantry dagger unit and also a support unit because of her weapon. And as you can see, after rallying, she gets another action just like Aether or Sane, which is really good because it is not going to be costing your entire player phase to rally up your allies, and you can still act afterwards. So she has got Spy Shuriken as a 9 might brave weapon, which is only going to be giving you the brave hits in the player phase, and it does have minus and special cooldown. And at start of combat, if her HP is at or above 25%, then she can get +5 to all of these stats. And if a rally assist is used by her or targets her, then she can give the null follow-up status to herself and also the target or targeting allies, which is really good. And then she can inflict the exposure status on the foes in the cardinal direction of herself and the target or targeting allies. So this is going to be helping your allies get the null follow-up status, and it is going to be giving the exposure status on the enemies, which means that it can do 10 true damage per hit, which is good for the damage output. And again, she's going to be able to get an extra action whenever a rally assist is used by her. So this is going to be making her a pretty nice Aether Raids defense unit, because she could be used in rally traps and can even be used in Aether Raids offense, because she's not going to be losing her turn while rallying. So it is always good to have on these kinds of rally bots, in my opinion. And she does come with rally attack speed plus and remote sparrow, and also speed defense ruse 4. So keep in mind that speed defense ruse 3 is only available on Eleonora, and she is going to be getting a refine soon. So yeah, if you fought her, then keep that in mind. And we're probably going to be getting even more ruse skills, similar to how we just get a lot more ploy skills. So speed defense ruse 4 now inflicts -4 speed and defense on foe in the combat, and if any kind of rally skill is used by the unit or targets the unit, then you can inflict -6 visible defense and speed debuff on the opponent, and also inflict them with the guard status, the discord status, and the new schism status, which is going to be really amazing. So it is going to be inflicting those status effects and the debuffs on the foes in the cardinal direction. And Schism is a new status effect which neutralizes the triangle attack status, the dual strike status, and also the pathfinder status. So keep in mind that this is only neutralizing the visible status effects, not the innate effects. So for example, Note, Dagger, and Duo Dagger do have innate pathfinder, so that is not going to be getting neutralized by Schism. So you basically need to have the visible status effects in order for them to get neutralized. So this is going to be countering Bridal Catria teams really hard in Aether Raids offense, and it could also be used in Aether Raids defense, but I think this is more of a Aether Raids offense tool, and Aether becomes even better of a Astro Mythic. She's already really good, and now she can give even more support. And keep in mind that Freyr can not really cleanse the Schism status, because he can only cleanse the status effects at sort of turn or at sort of phase. And this is going to be at the middle of turn when you're going to be using rally. So you cannot really cleanse this, and it does explicitly state in the description that even if the Schism status is neutralized, it is still going to be taking down triangle attack, dual strike, and the pathfinder status with it. So even if you use some kind of odd recovery or anything like that on your defense, you're not going to be having the triangle attack or dual strike available even if you cleanse the Schism status. So this is a pretty ultimate counter to Bridal Catria teams that you face in Aether Raids offense. And I don't think this is going to be that big for Summoner Duels, because as it is, people are not going to be using rally skills in Summoner Duels unless it's like Aether or something like that. And the range of the skill is not really enough for Summoner Duels for most of the maps. So something else has to be there for Summoner Duels. But for Aether Raids offense, this is definitely going to be shaking things quite a lot, and it is going to be meta influential, because not only it can disable the Bridal Catria and Winter Cordelia teams, but also inflict the guard discord status on the opponent. So it is really good for the support and for tanking, and that is amazing if you do have the mythics that can run this skill. But keep in mind that again, this is the start of the skill, so we're probably going to be getting more of it in the upcoming months, where you could probably try and spark it maybe on a normal banner like the ploy skill. So overall, Heather is a really good unit herself and does provide some amazing fodder, and she is going to be really fast, and base 42 attack is definitely not that bad for having this kind of player phase brave weapon. So she can definitely be useful in Aether Raids defense and also in offense. And Ruse is definitely going to be something that you'll have to watch out for if you are someone who uses a lot of Bridal Catria or Winter Cordelia on your Aether Raids defense. And then we have got Ninja Reina as the 4-star focus unit of this banner, and I think she was on the silhouette and it was not Heather. So she is a green bow flyer, and she does have an inhittable bow in Kumo Yumi Plus, so this is going to be 7 might weapon, which does allow her to move to a space adjacent to any kind of ally in 2 spaces, which is pretty good for the movement utility. And then in the player phase, you're going to be having the Brave effect, and at start of combat, if foe's HP is at or above 75%, then you can get +4 to all of these stats. So it's like Whitecap Bow Plus, but you don't really have to meet the speed check. But Whitecap Bow, I believe, does have 12 might, while this weapon has got 7 might, and it does provide you with the movement utility, so it could be a good option. And then she's got Glimmer and attack speed cash 3 and speed defense rain as the fodder, which she can provide, which can definitely be pretty helpful to you if you're trying to get the tier 4 version of these skills. So it could be good bridge fodder. And she is going to be color sharing with Heather. And yeah, there she goes, taking out this Lance Flyer. So the final unit that we have on this banner is going to be Duo Sanaki. So Sanaki has not really gotten an alt in a while, and she's a pretty important character. And here she is as a Red Mage Cavalier with Micaiah. So this is a duo unit, not a harmonic unit. And not going to be spoiling anything. If you have played Radiant Dawn, then you know. So Radiant Scrolls is her preferred weapon, which is an 8 might weapon, and it does enable the counter remaining movement. So basically it does have the Fortray skill built in, and it also gives her -1 special cooldown. So Iceberg becomes a 2 cooldown special, and stuff like Glimmer, Moonbow, and Ruptured Sky becomes a 1 cooldown special that she can trigger on her Brave hit. So that is going to be really powerful. And she does have the dual phase Brave effect, and she also inflicts -6 attack and resistance debuff on the foe in the combat. And she also gets true damage based on the total debuffs on target and the foes within 2 spaces of the target. So this is kind of like Yune basically. So this is like a better dominance essentially, giving her that true damage. And that is extremely good on a unit with base 47 attack and also someone with a brave weapon. And then she can also pierce to the damage reduction again by using the total debuffs on target and the foes that are within 2 spaces of the target times 4. So this is extremely good because keep in mind that Duo Sanaki does have a pretty high resistance. So she's going to be able to make use of the Sabotage skill and Ploy skills really well. And if you have -6 debuff on all stats of the opponent, then you basically get 96% damage reduction piercing, which is really strong. And Sanaki already comes with Sabotage, attack resistance, and defense rest ploys. So that is going to be adding up to 20 total debuffs on the enemies, which is going to be giving her 80% damage reduction piercing, which is already better than Magical Null Follow-Up. So having a Cavalier with a dual phase Brave weapon with dominance true damage and with this kind of damage reduction piercing is just absolutely really strong. And because she's a duo unit, she's going to be scoring really well in Arena. And she can be useful in Aether Raids defense for enabling Duo's hindrance, and also in Aether Raids offense just as a nuke. The only thing is that she's got Canto remaining movement, which is not as good as the other new Canto skills that we have gotten, but still, it can definitely work out with the Duo skill that she has got, if she can trigger that and if she has used her full movement. And she's basically like a combination of Duo Lif and Duo Korin. She just blows both of them out of the water with the nuking that she can do. So I think we're definitely going to be seeing her quite a lot. And she also has Iceberg and the resistance version of Flared Sparrow. So Flared Mirror can also set up the flame terrain and also do the damage as the combat starts. It's just that it's going to be giving you +7 attack and +10 resistance, and it doesn't really give you any kind of speed. So it could be helpful for the units that are slower. And then she's got Sabotage, attack resistance 3, and also defense res ploy 3. So that is going to be enabling her to debuff the enemy quite heavily with her resistance and also with the status effects that she can get. And debuffs are really helpful for Sanaki because it is going to be helping her get more true damage and also pierce through the damage reduction of the enemies. So she's an incredibly powerful unit for pretty much any kind of game mode in FEH as a nuke, and because she has the duo button, and the duo button is going to be helpful if you can snipe the opponent's duo or harmonic units or their duo hindrance. And just like all of the other ninjas, this duo button is basically going to be giving another action to Sanaki, so she can basically use her full movement, then use the duo skill, and that way she can have better counter remaining movement to retreat. So yeah, we already know how this goes with the duo buttons with all of the ninja units that we have gotten in the past years, and we can see her stat spread as well. So yeah, she's gonna be hitting really hard as a Mage Cavalier. Definitely one of the strongest Mage Cavaliers that we have in the entire game because of the effects that she has got and the kind of damage reduction piercing she can get, which is not all that hard to do because of the debuffs that she can provide. We also have Ninja Saizo as the free Tempest Trial reward for everyone as a Lance Infantry unit, and we don't really see that many Lance Infantry units in the Grail pool, so that is good. And he pretty much has the same weapon as Ninja Reina, so it is going to be enabling his warping to any kind of ally in 2 spaces, and he also gets the Brave effect in the player phase and gets +4 to all of these stats. Unfortunately, his fodder is not really all that good because he comes with attack defense solo at 5-star and defense smoke 3 at 4-star. we already have Pain who can provide defense smoke, and we also have Wrath. I really wish he got a better kit because solo skill has really bad synergy with, you know, warping that he can do. And he also has an AoE special when you want the foe to be at or above 75% HP for getting +4 to all of your stats. So his kit just does not make a lot of sense, but his stats are definitely pretty nice with base 45 speed, which is good, and base 41 attack with a super boon. And he's going to be really physically bulky with that base 45 defense. He doesn't really have too much HP, but still, he is going to be bulky. And as expected, resistance is going to be the lowest stat that he has got. So if you're a big Saizo fan, then you can certainly build him up with, you know, his weapon, or even give him Arcane Lewin. And his Tempest Trial is going to be bringing Speed Defense O3 as the Sacred Seal, and also Attack Defense Ideal 3. So not the most insane skills, but still can be useful. Overall, this banner is definitely pretty strong with the units themselves, with Heather being a really good support unit, with Zelgius being an amazing armor unit, and Sanaki being a really good nuke. And they also provide really good fodder with the Flared Mirror skill, and also Heather's Ruse skill, which is gonna be changing and shaking up the Aether Raids offense metagame, and it is gonna be you know, making people change up their Aether Raids defense for sure, at least in the higher echelons of gameplay, because Ruse skill is going to be disabling what Bridal Catria and Winter Cardelia can do, and it is going to be making it a lot easier to tank, especially with the mythics that we have got nowadays, like Veil, for example, who can give you the Drive Scale effect, and all of the other support units. So let me know in the comments what do you think about this banner. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and a comment, and if you really enjoyed, you could always support me directly by using super thanks down below, or by becoming a YouTube member down below. And for more FEH videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as Bridal Catria after seeing the Ruse 4 skill. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.